of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And tonight it's the match preview for the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. So before we get into that, guys, if you like what you see, please smash a like, so it really does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have any upcoming shows or pre-records. So I think I'll get into some comments. I am sorry I'm late, by the way, guys. I'm having a few technical issues. For some reason, my screen's not as full as it normally is, so I don't know what's going on. I think StreamYard are having a bit of a play-up tonight. Sefton says, long way to Wembley Stadium. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Wembley Stadium. It's Newcastle United, I know. Absolutely, mate. Yep, we got 1 foot there. Just make sure we got 2 feet tomorrow. Good evening, says Davey. Good evening, Davey. Hope you're well, mate. Yep, that was me. Time to pour a drink then. Yeah, absolutely. Davey says, Chelsea have paid 105.6 million for Enzo Fernandez. Yeah. It's a ridiculous amount of money. Why on earth they've spent that, I do not know. It's just, I just don't get it with Chelsea. So, don't know. But as I say, that's Chelsea for you, isn't it? They're spoiling the transfer market. That's the problem. And the thing is, that's what, and people are saying, we've bought our way to the top 4. Well, I'm sorry, we haven't bought our way to the top 4. Look what Chelsea are doing. Why aren't they getting hammered? Why isn't it Chelsea that gets hammered for this? Why is it always us that's hammered? Because we're the easy target. What, over 20 years, says Con? Yeah, exactly. Apparently he wants to do with structure payment, because he says if he has to pay the whole lot, it's going to affect our FFP and our tax as well. So, and Davey says, yeah, they want it in one payment. Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's on Sky. Ari Tony, mate, says, Ian, hope you're keeping well. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, mate. I hope you're well. Also, mate. But yeah. As I say, I don't know what's going on with camera tonight. It's a little bit shorter than it normally is. It's normally the full screen, basically, but I don't know what's going on with it. But as I say, I think StreamYard's having a bit of a play up at the moment. Ian Toon says they're going to bust the whole structure of the game if they carry on like this, the effing bellends. Yeah, they are. I mean, well, they've already spoilt the contract situation, because from next year, you've got to start next season. You've got to start giving only 5-year contracts. So these 8-year deals that Chelsea kept handing out will come to an end now. And, they're spoiling it for everybody else. And that's the problem. And, just such a shame. I mean, I did put out a little transfer roundup this morning. And as I say, guys, I did miss this guy off, and I do apologise. Harrison Ashby. Believe he's completing his medical. He's just completing all the formalities now. So hopefully at some point this evening we may hear that Ashby has signed the deal, and it'll all be put out there on social media. And he will be a great signing, and one for the future, that's for sure. And I think he may be too late to be signed in time to sit on the bench tomorrow, but I'm sure he'll be sitting on the bench against West Ham on Saturday, and that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, especially if he comes on. But we shall wait and see on that one, guys. Back to the comments. Andrew says, Ari, Toon Loons, hope you're all well. He's changed his picture again. Yeah, we're absolutely fine, Andrew, mate. Cheers, thank you very much. Hope you're well. Hope they get stuck, these players, on high wages and can't get rid of them. Do you know what? That's the problem, Davey. And the thing is, if Chelsea don't get European football this season, these players next season are going to be very, very restless and not want to stay. So it's all going to unfold very, very strange, isn't it? He all says, trolls. Hey, Tony. Hi, trolls. Everybody speaking to each other. Andrew's asking trolls, is he following him again? Davey, another signing tomorrow, then be happy. Do you know what? I think we're going to be very busy tomorrow. I can see something happening tomorrow. Something's going to come out the blue that nobody's going to know about. Alan says, it's not so good news. They get Champions League now, even more with all this spending. We will get nudged out. Evening, Tony, says Alan. No, hopefully we won't. I mean, Chelsea, they've got to get these players to gel, and that's the problem. And I still see Chelsea struggling this season, if I'm honest. Hi, Tony, says Rolly. Hi, Rolly, hope you're well. Good luck to John Joe Shelvey at Nottingham Forest, says David Hutchinson. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, do you know what? Touching on John Joe Shelvey, I mean, the guy's been a great servant to the club. We should goes to first. And again, good luck to him. Good luck to the lad. He wanted to move. He wanted the move. He was getting the extra security of a contract. So one, it takes the big earner off our money, off our FFP as well, off the wage bill. So it helps in that sense. Also, there's rumours going around this 10 to 12 million pound transfer fee. So if that's the case, then that's good business really from the club. But yeah, we all wish John Joe Shelvey well. He's, like I say, he's been a terrific servant to the club, and he done a lot. He was here through all the crap of our previous owner and had to put up with a lot of crap like that. Could have left when we went down, but stayed and helped us get back up from the Championship. So I think, well done, Shelvey. Enjoy Nottingham Forest, mate, and I hope you do well there. And I hope Nottingham Forest can stay up. I think they will do, and it's a cracking signing for Forest. But I think that also the fact is our game no longer suits the likes of Shelvey now, because our game now is evolving so much, and the club's evolving as well. So players like Shelvey, Eddie Howe didn't want to lose Shelvey, but if Shelvey wanted to go, then you can't stand in his way, really, can you? So, but good luck to the lad anyway, and wish him well. We need another midfield, and I'll be happy, says Ian Toon. Yeah. Total Sefton. Yes, a midfielder would be great, says Davey. Yeah, absolutely. Troll says Chowdhury out of the blue. Nah, he's on loan at Watford. So he won't be coming. Don't worry about that. Tony regarding Gordon, I was a doubter, but how he's changed the club's PR promo, being today with him, how the club has changed so professional, brilliant to see. I'm excited now. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. I mean, it's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, this picture, Flash Gordon, it's absolutely fantastic, that, isn't it? I mean, but yeah, this lad, you see, do you know what? I've actually got to like the lad a lot more, because I'll tell you why. When he spoke, and he spoke very well, I think Everton are a disgrace for the way they've treated him from going. That they were very blunt in their response of when he left the club. But this lad, I thought, spoke really well. And despite what some people have opinions of, and that's what it's all about. It's all about opinions. But despite the opinions of this guy, I think we could have a gem on our hands here, and it wouldn't surprise me if Eddie Howe gets the best out of him and he plays a lot better. So again, it could be great business from our club to sign him, and we look forward to seeing him play. I'm sure he'll come out and greet the crowd tomorrow night. Obviously, he can't play, he's cup tied, but I'm sure on Saturday, even if he doesn't start, I'm sure he'll make an appearance on the bench. So that'll be interesting to see. Hi, Tony and the lad, says Wayne. Hi, Wayne, hope you're well. I will have John coming on, by the way, with me shortly, but he's just having his tea. Ian says, doesn't matter who Chelsea sign, they will not fight for each other like the tune. Hard work, team structure always beats a bunch of talented strangers. Yeah, Chelsea's trying to build a team of superstars, and it doesn't work all the time. You've got to get the balance right, and they don't get the balance right. Davey says, right time for both parties. Absolutely, Davey. But again, we wish John Joe Shelby all the best. I don't think the deal's being rubber stamped yet, but I believe it's probably close. Guess we will get Burge, says Trolls. Will come on to him shortly. Pete's in the house. Hi, Pete. Hope you're well, mate. He says, Klopp went down to Brighton Beach for a second time to find a rock to trim his teeth, but instead picked up a crab. And then the crab got his claws ready and said, open wide and trimmed his teeth for him. I like it, Pete. Well, I see the travel agents have been selling out well today because the Scouts has been going down there saying we want a holiday in Brighton because you can't beat Brighton at this time of the year. So there we go. Agree, Andrew. We're an organisation flush with marketing expertise and Manda's background. Absolutely. Sefton says Chelsea's just released a statement. Panic buying is acceptable on a monopoly board, but we are protected by the Football League and we haven't started yet with this squad of 600. Yeah. That's the thing. Where's all these players going to fit in and who's going to miss out in their... the thing is, who's going to actually miss out in their final 25? And there's going to be some players left out and not very happy. Ian speaking to... yeah, it shows. Hey, Ian says, Pete... David says, Fulham or Sunderland will get Leeds United in the FA Cup. Yeah, that's not a bad draw, is it? I mean, if I expect Fulham to beat Sunderland in the replay, well, we hope anyway. We'll all be Fulham fans that night, plus Fulham play in black and white as well, don't they? Even though it's a white shirt and black shorts, but still, it's black and white. CD... He's going to have a point to prove when how he left Everton. Yeah, absolutely. CD, I totally agree with you. I mean, yeah, he's got a point to prove as Anthony Gordon, and he'll make sure that Everton know about it. That's for sure. But it'll not be by speech. It'll be by what he does on the football field. Good luck to Shelby, says Gary, apart from when we play them at the City Ground, Tony. Yeah, absolutely, Gary. I mean, yeah, great luck. Good luck to him. I think Forest, it will suit his game probably a lot better than our game, to be fair. But, yeah, we wish him luck. I mean, the guy's done nothing wrong, really. Yes, some people have had that say about him, but you know what? Overall, the guy's been a great servant to the club, and I just think, you know, we're classy at our club and we'll just send them our best wishes as a fan base. Yeah, they've got to get him out on the pitch. Yep, absolutely. I think he means what I said about Anthony Gordon. Mason, evening everyone. Evening Mason, hope you're well. Yeah, I did try to reply to your message earlier, mate, but I had no internet. But yeah, I know what you mean about Shelby. He's been a great servant and yeah, we wish him well. Davey says, where you been hiding tonight, Sefton? I think he's been hiding still behind the Iron Curtain because he's frightened of his misses after the Liverpool loss yesterday. But yeah, no, I think in all seriousness, I think Sefton he's trying to get tickets for Premier League darts in Liverpool at the arena, and they were sold out. See, us Geordies were taking over everything now. You see, not only got the football side, but also the darts as well. I mean, you know. We're going great guns, you see, at the moment, and doesn't matter where a Geordie is, everything's getting sold out at the moment. And talking about Geordies, well, this guy last night, Chris Dobie, who was on my channel last week, it's gone on, won the Masters 2023. Fantastic guy. Absolutely buzzing for him last night. I DM'd him last night, said congratulations to him. And I've said even if he's available this week, can he come on the channel to show his trophy off? So I'll just see if he can or not. But fantastic guy. And I didn't expect it that he'd be on my channel last Wednesday and then go and win a tournament. So I'm producing winners on this channel. No, I'm only joking. Chris. Your darts were fantastic last night. You got a bit nervy at times, and I was a bit nervous. Your job done yesterday, and you brought the trophy home to Newcastle. Now, is this an omen that there's going to be a double coming back to Newcastle? Because if we pass Southampton tomorrow night, let's bring the the Carabao Cup. Used to be called the Carling Cup, by the way. Let's bring the Carabao Cup back home to Newcastle, and we'll have a Geordie double. I hope this guy, though, gets the chance off the club to parade his trophy around the pitch, whether it's tomorrow night or on Saturday evening, because he deserves all the recognition he gets. So well done, Chris Dobie, my friend. Back to the comments. People talk to each other there. Andrew says, not a bad idea. They could use Klopp's massive teeth to scoop up all the plastic out of the oceans. Would only take an hour. Oh, here we go. Yep, absolutely. Andrew says, evening everyone, hope you're well. Yeah, evening to you, Andrew. Hope you're well, mate. Sefton says, I was driving, mate. Yeah, be careful driving, Sefton. Andrew says, I noticed that now I'm a spanner. I've been called worse. Do you know what, Andrew? People call us anything. I mean, me and John both got called last night, and when I was doing my show yesterday, we got called deluded. We're not deluded, that's for sure. But let's just say the guy who done that won't be on this channel. Klopp could be a dam and hold back a river. Yeah, he could be. Yeah, absolutely. Jules says, quick hello from me. Click the likes and have a great show. Thank you very much, Jules. Good evening to you. Hope you're well. Best of luck to Shelby. We need a replacement as soon as possible, says CD. Yeah, we do need a replacement. Andrew says, can't wait for tomorrow night. Though my lad is taking one of his mates to our seats. I'll be the dad's taxi, though, in their spirit. Yeah, mate, let's hope we win tomorrow, and I hope they enjoy the game. He says, if James Madison needs a taxi to get up here at the sign, I'd be more than happy to oblige. Yeah, definitely, wouldn't you just? Gary says, has Mr. Sefton Mag told you what you got Mrs. Sefton, Tony? No, he hasn't actually, so please share that, Sefton Mag. Andrew says, ignore them, Tony. You have your opinion, that's it. You run a good channel. Thank you very much, Andrew. Yeah, no, we do, Andrew. I mean, the people who were in the chat last night probably saw who it was. But like I say, at the end of the day, you don't mind banter, you don't mind opinions, but when people start making personal attacks towards you, that's not really nice. And the guy did get told last night off a few people to stop personally attacking. So, yeah, absolutely. That guy was salty, says Davey. Well, yeah, again, you could say that, Davey. Absolutely, mate. And, I mean, I don't stop people coming on my channel. I like to have the viewers on, but at the end of the day, we should always keep our comments respectful, no matter what we think of anybody or whatever. Sometimes it's best to keep your opinions to yourself. Wayne says, Klopp could build a dam with them beaver teeth. Do you know what it is? He absolutely could, and that's the thing. He could build a dam with that. Absolutely. So yeah, there was some other news that came out as well. So looking at possible replacements for Shelby. Now, news broke last night, and I'll put a little quick show out last night. So this guy's been mentioned, Sander Berge, plays for Sheffield United. He's he's 25 this year. In fact, he's 25 on Valentine's Day. So there you go. Same day as Kevin Keegan. Wow. He's got the same birthday as Keegan. So that's interesting, isn't it? I just suddenly realised that when I thought, hang on, Valentine's Day. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've looked at the lad's stats and they're not too bad. I mean, this season, he started 18 of 19 games. He scored 4 goals and he's got 3 assists. Yes, we know that is in the Championship. But again, he plays midfield centre or defensive midfield. Now, if I look at last season's stats for him, he played 22 out of 31 games. Well, he started 22 out of 31 games, got 5 goals and 3 assists. So, you know, the guy's not bad stats-wise. They're not too bad. I mean, when Sheffield United signed him back on the 30th of January 2020 in the January window, they got him from Genk for 22 million euros. So they bought him for about 19.6 million pounds. Because Genk got him from Valerenga for 2 million euros. But remember, this guy, and I know some people are a bit like, oh, why Sander Berge? But there's a lot of clubs looking at this guy, and one club in particular looking at this guy, and they are no mugs for when they go for players. Napoli are looking at this guy, believe it or not. So if Napoli are linked to this guy, then it shows you how good this guy actually is. I know Trolls in the chat isn't the biggest fan because you know it's his fellow countrymen, but we'll see what happens. If it's only a loan move with a view to a permanent move on, say, a number of games that he plays, then what we'll do, I think what the club will do is if he has a few games where he doesn't play well, they might just keep him on the bench then, and then they don't have the obligation to buy him. So it works both ways, and it's low risk at the end of the day. That's the way I see it as well. So, yeah. Right, I've got my other guest just arrived. Here he is. Hello, John. How are you?
I'm totally how we doing, mate. You good? And even 2 chats as well. So, yeah, just thought I'd done the preview yesterday, so I thought I'd come on yours and eat.
Lovely, John. Thank you very much. Before I go on to Kong's message, I mean, obviously we've got our Flash Gordon now. Also, Anthony Gordon. This guy's had his medical and is just completing his formalities. Probably not in time to be on the bench tomorrow, but probably on the bench against West Ham on Saturday, which would be fantastic. But I mean, John, before I go on to Kong's chat. I mean, what about John Joe Shelvey? I mean, he's on the verge of a move to Nottingham Forest. It's believed the fee could be 10 to 12 million pounds. Nobody exactly knows what the fee is. He's getting a 2.5-year deal with Forest, probably a little bit more money. Eddie Howe didn't want to lose him, but John Joe Shelvey himself wanted to make the move to Forest. I think this is a game changer for Forest. I think that'll help them stay up. I think our game is not suiting John Joe Shelvey's game, so I think it was probably better for all that he did leave the club. Even though he's been a terrific servant, John, he's been here nearly 8 years. He's had to go through all the crap of the previous owner, relegation, back to the Premier League, and I mean, John, sum up John Joe Shelvey.
John Joe Shelvey. Look, when he first came to the club, I thought he could be needed someone who's going to pass the ball from midfield, make those fantastic passes. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it don't. And he does. He's got a ruthless streak in him sometimes. But at the end of the day, right, it's hard to get in the team. He gets injured quite a bit as well. I've noticed that as well. But look, he's been a good servant for us. And I think it's best for all parties if he do move on to Nottingham Forest, so he can get some game time. Do you know what I mean? If he goes to Forest, I think he will do now, Tony, then I think, in my opinion, I think he will keep Forest up. And, you know, obviously they let two of their midfield players go as well on loan. So at the end of the day, I wish John Joe the best. I think he needs game times, but we've moved on from John Joe Shelby because we need an upgrade on John Joe Shelby, in my opinion, if we are going to do top four regular season, winning trophies, etc. Do you know what I mean? He's coming up 31, and for me personally, Tony, I think it's best he moved on, mate.
Yeah, I've got to agree on that, John. I mean, it helps us for our FFP as well. I mean, it's a wage off the wage bill, and it's money coming into the club as well by the transfer fee. So it's all good in the end, isn't it? But we wish him well, and that's the main thing for John Joe Shelby. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, tonight there's a story. Well, it's somebody's put it out there that Leicester have offered Maddison and Tielemans improved contracts, and they have both rejected them. So could Leicester be about to get rid of these two before 11 p.m. tomorrow night, John?
I take Maddison 110%. Everyone's Maddison. I'd definitely take him 110%. If we don't get him now, I think Spurs might want him in the summer sort of thing as well. But actually, Tielemans, look, I think Tielemans is a good player. On his day, when he doesn't go hiding, that guy has got a fantastic shot on him. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I don't think it'll go on to come to Newcastle. I think it will end up going to Europe as well, I think. But Maddison is that guy. And I tell you what, if he's available, right, and he's turned down a new contract from what you're telling us, then I think Leicester should do the honour thing. Take the money, what we've offered, because I tell you now, right, if he's got Tom Middleton's contract, then the valuation is just going to go lower. We will not be paying 40, 45 million for the lad. There's just no way. And I think Leicester's playing a dangerous game here, right, trying to be greedy and trying to get as much money as we can. We're the ones who are after him, and Tottenham's after him as well. I think Maddison will come to us over Tottenham. I really do, because you've got an English core there. We just on Anthony Gordon. We've got Kieran Trippier, right? We got Lascelles to agree, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, Longstaff, you know, and we've got a great English core. Eddie Howe's done a fantastic job at this moment in time. And if he does that and the players comes through, that'd be fantastic. Maddison's got to think about it, right? I fancy a bit of a pie here. Sort of thing. You've got Trippier as a captain. He also played for Newcastle because we are on the up and we're overtaking Leicester. Let's be real. But I think we should get Maddison. I hope we do. Just put the money up because we said if you let Shelby go, right, then there's got to be someone we got lined up in the midfield, because if you don't get a midfielder coming in, then we're going to be short in that position as well. We only got Bruno, Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock in that midfield for 3 could play at one time, not 4. But if you lose one key player, we're going to be short. Simple as that. We're going for the top 4 this season. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying going for the title. We're going for top 4. You can't go in a top 4 race if you've got a weak squad. We don't want that. We've got to be preoccupied, and you got to be, up together. Do you know what I mean? So proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's let's talk football. Youri Tielemans and James Maddison have reportedly rejected new and improved contract proposals from Leicester City on the move before deadline day. So that's what they're saying. But how true it is, John, it could just be rumours.
Yeah,
so
the thing is that no one knows. Yeah, no one knows as well. So it's coming. So no one knows, right? The end of the day, what's going on. But I was told by a Leicester fan, because I was at the KP on Boxing Day, and he said that they offered James Maddison a contract way back in the summer, and that's still on the table, and he haven't even touched it. I don't know how true it is. I don't know. I'm not in the ITK, by the way, but I was told by a Leicester fan that that contract's been there for quite a long time. So very interesting. We'll see.
Absolutely. I mean, we are linked to this guy on loan, John, Sander Burge. Do you know much about him, John?
I know he's a Norwegian international, plays for Sheffield United, and he used to play for Genk as well. But he has been scoring goals in that position as well, by the way. He's a powerful lad, 6'4", 6'5". And, obviously Sheffield United don't want him to go. And apparently one of the local papers saying that he's happy to stay at Sheffield United to help him get up to the Premier League. But Fulham have put in a 20 million bid in for him as well. And you just mentioned there, which I've heard, that Napoli's after him as well. So Napoli don't buy poor players. They don't. They want to strengthen the team. So they go for the Scudetto. They won last week, by the way, by 2-1. Check out Osimhen school. That's my dream striker, Tony. If he's available, we should be getting that guy all ends. That guy is my number one signing. If you get another striker in, he'll be my number one. Pay the money for it, get it done, and that is complete. But Sander Burge, would I take him? Well, I will back the board in the decision. If he comes, we have to back him. Simple as that. But we do need another mid.
Yeah. Knight says, I don't understand why you were so upset. Just give the kid a chance, in my view. If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Simple's absolutely right. Sefton says, he knows Gary. Liverpool table, as it stands, like the team situated in the middle of the table.
Can I just come on to that one, Tony, right? About Liverpool, right? I mean, Liverpool are in a crisis, right? And Roy Jennings is absolutely right. Chelsea fan, by the way. Liverpool, right? In my opinion, right? We're not scared of them. I watched them yesterday, and we have got absolutely now to be scared of this lot at the end of the day, because the aging side, the midfield, we'll dominate that midfield when we play them. Trust us, Tony. We'll dominate them.
Thing is, John, I know one man doesn't make a team, but they are missing Sadio Mane. That's who they're missing. And I know you shouldn't say one man makes a team, but Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool's left them in a huge hole.
Yeah. Massive miss. I mean, I know they got Luis Diaz, but he's out injured in a minute, and he'll come good. He'll come really, really good. But Sadio Mane, that guy, I tell you something now, you're right. Massive miss. What they should have done, they should have given what he wanted. The guy was 29, 30. Give the lad what he's wanted. They done it to Mo Salah. Why did they not do it to Sadio Mane? I just don't get that. The moment he left that club, Liverpool, let's be real, they just have not been the same at all whatsoever, Tony. And I tell you what, they'll be kicking themselves now. And Bayern Munich, they got to Bayern Munich, right? They got a cracking player there.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, Klopp's under pressure now, so he's got to deal with that now. And, that's twice he's beat Brighton this season and within a few weeks of each other. And he's lost both games, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah, not great.
Absolutely not great. I'll tell you what, Tony, one thing I'm going to say, I don't think Klopp will get sacked. He'll not get sacked, but he's made it clear that he wants to stay at the club and rebuild, so he'll not be going anywhere soon.
Yeah. Davey says, was watching videos of him after your show this morning, he looks solid. Talking about Sander Burge. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad player. Just because he's playing in the Championship for Sheffield United doesn't make him a bad player. So again, it's another one. If he does come into the club, apparently he was talking to Fulham over a £20 million move, but our terms went better than what Fulham's were. We were offering more money, apparently, like on a loan fee as well. So we wait and see what happens with that one. Andrew says, we've had years of negativity due to the previous regime. Now things are on the up. We are feeling positive for once, but it should be good crack with rival supporters, not abusive. Great show. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. I totally agree with you 100%. Like I say, the guy last night who called me and John deluded, he's supposed to be a Toon fan as well. Well, in my eyes, that's not really a Newcastle fan, because most of our fan base is absolutely spot on. Yes, there is some splits in the fan base, but you know what? You know the good from the bad, and that's what I'm saying. Mason says, Sheffield United want Lewis O'Brien as his replacement once they pay some sort of fee to lift their embargo. Yeah, again, I mean, Lewis O'Brien, I saw him for Forest when he played against us, and I thought he didn't play too bad. Maybe he's not cut out for the Premier League. Same with Harry Toffolo, because he's on the move as well.
He's gone to Anderlecht. And Toffolo's gone to Anderlecht, and Lewis O'Brien. I think West Ham wants them as well.
Yeah. Davey says, I'm sure the Saudi Prince will let Piff have him. Well, there's something going on at Sheffield United, and they're in a midst of a takeover as well, apparently, so I don't know what's going on down there. Andrew says, the lad from the Blades should be a good addition to the squad, considering how many campaigns we're going to be in. Plus, the 5 subs rule. We need 25 quality players and a strong bench for next season. Yeah, absolutely well said, mate.
Absolutely.
Hi, John says, Sefton.
Sefton in the house.
Trull says, anyone who comes through the door, I hope they come good. Absolutely. And Davey says, evening, John. So does Trolls.
Trolls.
Andrew, John Legend.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Even Paul says
Andrew says, yeah, right, John.
I can.
And Wayne says, are you right, John, lad?
Mate, absolutely fantastic.
Andrew says we should call Anthony Gordon Ric Flair every time he gets the ball. We should shout, whoa. Yeah.
I don't know, by the way, Tony, no punch-ups between him and Trippier's sort of thing, you know what I mean? Did you see that when he went in Trippier's face? There'll be none of that now, like, you know what I mean? No. He's going to tell him, no cheating.
Good evening to you, Brian. Big up all.
Big up, Brian.
Andrew says, Voldemort will always be a legend with us. Real pity that he's not going to be in our kit at the final. Best of luck to him. Great servant to the club and people of the tune. Absolutely. 100%. I mean, have you heard the latest as well with Forest? Because Chris Wood's gone there, hasn't he, on loan, John, with a view to a permanent move, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Forest are paying Chris Wood more money than we've paid him.
Really? How much are you paying him, though?
Well, wasn't it rumoured we were paying him $100,000 a week? So Forest are paying him more than $100,000 a week.
I tell you what, all for Forest then, eh? All for Forest. Because I tell you what, they're just spending money left, right, and centre. Them, do you know what I mean? Good luck to them. That's what I'm saying. But you can only go where you want to be, and you know, he's a winner. I think his agents must have done a good job as well, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Mala Magpie, all the best to Shelby. I say it makes good sense financially. Absolutely, Mala. I mean, it is. I think it's a great move all around for everybody. And as I say, it's not just disrespect to Shelby, but the way we play our football now and the way our club's evolving. Unfortunately for Shelby, there is no room now. And, you know, the pressing game that we play isn't Shelby's game. So, again, but we wish him all the best. And, yeah. And if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for coming on board, and hope you hit the subscribe and the likes there. Thank you. Andrew says we might even see Fraser head to head Everton. Daesh likes him. Yeah, Daesh was wanting him, wasn't he? So that's a weird one because Daesh is coming so late, and now he's only got till 11 o'clock tomorrow to get somebody in. It's just that club's going down in my eyes. I don't think even he can keep the club up. Andrew says Tillemans is not good enough to wash the cars at the training ground. Would you let him anywhere near chamois leather? No, I wouldn't. We watched him at St James's against us in the Carabao Cup quarter final, and to be fair, he weren't that great. And I just thought, you know what? Please don't sign him. He ain't great. And I think our owner saw that and probably thought we're going to keep away from him. Sefton says, well said, John. Alan says Ericsson looked to be hurt after Manuel's game. Carroll tackle. Oops, TalkSport saying he could now be out for a bit. Well, that's going to be a blow for them, but not for us if we meet them in the final. And apparently Carroll was on a mission to try and injure every Man United player on Saturday night. So maybe he's trying to help us out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's trying to do, like, to know what I mean. But guess who could not be available for transfer? Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be going anywhere.
He's not.
Not if Everton. Nah, not means Ericsson's going to be injured. I can't see him going.
No. Good. Because we don't want him. Good old Andy Cole. He means, Dave says, no, I mean Carroll, sorry, mine was drifting. be out, says Alan. Joel says, average height when we're done buying will be 6'5". Yeah, absolutely. I like coffee. Good evening, Tony, John, and all. Good evening to you. I like coffee.
Good evening to you. Good evening to you.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Troll says, Liverpool is missing Marnie and Origi. Yeah. Davey says, let's hope it lasts.
Yeah. Liverpool.
Andrew says, I hope that we play Liverpool, that Eddie names the team with Isak starting the day before. Give that defence nightmares if they can manage any sleep. Yeah, definitely. I like coffee. John's really good at sketching portraits of people. He means a picture on the wall behind you.
Yeah.
Sefton says, newsflash. Chelsea's just received the new team bus from Ford. It's the new 80-seater downstairs and 80-seater upstairs. Gary says, good evening, John, mate.
Big up Gary D. Hope you okay.
Mason says, how's Manchester, John?
I'm not in Manchester. I'm up in Newcastle, right? And but nah, you should say how is Newcastle, John?
Johnny's fishing. He's reeling you in now.
Right, he's reeling him in now. I tell you what, though, he's got the name wrong. He could have said Macy, but there you go.
Andrew says, Tony, I said I'm not shaving till we win a trophy. I love the beard, but way too many grey bits in it, so we better had win, lol. Well, I'll tell you what, Andrew, if we don't, you might be waiting for another year, so that beard might be touching the floor by then. You might have to carry it around with you, mate. Nate says, the thing is, Wood needs a team built around him like we built it around Carroll. If they did that, then he'd be banging them in. I really believe that. Yeah, quite possibly. But we'll see. We'll see how we get some with Forest. Gary says, I hear Shelby's also getting more money at Forest as well. Yeah, he's getting a pay rise as well and a 2.5-year contract. Plus, the reason why Shelby wanted to go, he was a bit worried about whether he get a new contract at Newcastle as well. So I can see why he wants to go. It's security for the lad, and you can't knock him for that. Troll says, I wish Shelby well, but just wish he would have gone earlier so we would have had more time to get a replacement again. Forest have come in late for him. This has just come out the blue. I hope Rashford gets the shits before the final, says Andrew. Well, if he eats a dodgy curry or something, he might do, mightn't he?
He's on fire. I know. Tell us about it, man.
Andrew says, press that like and subscribe. Phone all your pals to come on and just smash those buttons, eh? Away the lads. Thank you very much, Andrew. Big up to you, mate. Alan says, evening, Tony and John. Evening, Alan. I hope you're well. Wrens are close to agreeing to sign Jed Spence on loan, says Mason. That'll be a good move for Jed Spence. I mean, why has he gone to Spurs? I don't know why. He should have stayed at Forest, really. He should have went there. Probably the glitz and glamour of London and the big lights, and going to Tottenham, he probably thought he'd be a regular. He ain't a regular, and he should have stayed at Forest, really, and he would have probably been playing more regular. Ian says,
I totally agree with you, Tony.
Yeah. Hi, Tony and John. I'm a bit late tonight. That's no problem, Ian. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you very much. I'll just try and catch up with some of these comments, John. I wonder if Bowley, being American and they call American football, that he thinks Chelsea have a 53-man squad and 12 practice squad, says Rowley. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Would you have a 53-man squad at Newcastle United?
Well, no, why would you have that many? Do you know what I mean, John? It's just ridiculous.
Don't need to. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's trying to turn into an American football, do you know what I mean? And I tell you what, the players will not be happy at all. I wonder what Graham Potter would make of this, like, do you know what I mean? You must be thinking, what is this guy doing to this football club? Do you know what I mean? Because he's got nothing to do with this at all.
He's absolutely woeful, isn't he?
Oh,
Ali Coffey says, Man United get another home fixture in the FA Cup against the winner of Derby West Ham. Yeah, so that'll not be a bad draw. And Wayne says, think Shelby's getting 5 or 6 grand more at Forest. Quite possibly. Mason says it's 1-0 West Ham, Jared Bowen. And a Coffee 53-man squad if we're aiming for 5 trophies, says. To be fair, Coffee, I don't think we need 55-man squad. I think we're happy with what we've got. It's got me through this far, hasn't it? So, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, this I've just seen this, John, right? And I just find this absolutely ludicrous. Looking this for people again. I mean, Tim Sherwood, right? Former Tottenham manager Tim Sherwood needs to keep his gob shut. He's now criticised us for spending the money on Anthony Gordon, saying that Everton have copped a hefty transfer fee for their academy product. He says the 53-year-old believes Newcastle should have made a move for James Maddison instead. And he goes on to say that he's not a creator. I think he's a runner, but without the ball, yes, he's full of energy. Sorry, my thing's just... but there were better options out there. I think they need to get somebody to unlock the door, and James Maddison would have been that person. He says he's still young at 26, Maddison, but ready-made, and you know he's someone that will open the door for you. He says, yes, Anthony Gordon, he's probably seen the potential in the boy. He can improve him. He's going to help them out of possession because he's very fit, quick, and gets to people. But he's only a bit of a straight liner for me, says Tim Sherwood. What do you make of that, John?
This is the same Tim Sherwood that managed Tottenham and absolutely messed up, didn't he? Yeah. And he's a poor pundit as well, by the way, let's be real. But listen, at the end of the day, right, Anthony Gordon has got potential, right? Which got treated very badly at Everton, not being coached properly. I mean, fans having a go at him, right? And I get an Everton fans come to say, I was glad to see the back of this guy because his attitude is so wrong, but we can't answer that one. You need to answer towards Everton fans about that as well, Tony. But at the end of the day, right, I'm going to make this clear, right? I'm backing Eddie Howe, Dan Ashworth, and the club, right, to make the right decisions, yeah? They have checked out the references, right, for Anthony Gordon. Eddie sees that he can do things, work for the team. And you know what? He's young. He's only 21-year-old, for goodness. Is he 21, 22? For goodness sake. Right?
Yeah.
Just let off the kid. Do you know what I mean? If he signed for like Man United or Tottenham Hotspur, Tim Sherwood will not come out and say that he's a one-liner. He will big this guy up. He will big him up, yeah? But because he's gone to Newcastle United, here we go again, right? He's just saying, putting our club doing again. Do you know what I mean? He's basically saying he should not have gone to Newcastle United, yeah? But we will get James Maddison eventually. Let's hope we do. And then see what he says then. He'll probably just say, oh, you would have been got to Leicester, yeah? Tell Tim Sherwood where to go, right? I can't take this guy seriously, right? We're doing the best we can for the football club, right? He's clearly rattled because he's a Tottenham legend, right? And he's clearly rattled. Do you know what I mean? And Liverpool and Chelsea, right? At the end of the day, right? I'll back Eddie Howe. Who they buy? And that's it. Welcome to Newcastle United, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy's just an idiot, really. Andrew says Potter probably looks at his pay note and doesn't care. Yeah, probably.
Could be.
Troll says John isn't Man U, but says Man U as soon as they're in a competition.
I tell you what, though, Tony, I hope we play United, right? And I hope we beat them, because we're not scared of them. I don't know if you saw, there's some Alex Turk, you told us, didn't you, about Alex Turk, didn't you? That guy,
yes.
He's an absolute first club, absolute muppet. You know, for him to come up and say that, he's just rattled. He's scared already. Do you know what I mean? I suggest to look at all the school goals to school, the games, Fulham away, Brentford at home, Southampton away, yeah, Leicester away, yeah, and all the goals he scored against, right, and lost against she should never have lost against a big six, right? I mean, Alex Turk, right, is just jealous. Do you know what I mean? That guy is a muppet, and he's just there for clicks.
Yeah, he is absolutely. Yeah, just just take no notice of him, simple as. You know,
Exactly.
and people like that are just salty, John. That's the problem. But you see, as soon as we sign somebody, we're
That's the
automatically
thing,
under
Tony.
scrutiny by everybody. But when Chelsea do it,
Yeah.
like well, spend 105 million on Enzo Fernandez, it just makes it just makes my blood boil, because I think, well, hang on a minute, if we'd went out and done that, you know, we would be hammered for that, absolutely hammered.
Exactly. Totally agree. I can remember when Rooney moved to United back in 2004, right? Because he wanted to leave Everton, right, and gone to Man United. Everyone's bigging this guy up and say, "Oh, he's going to be the best young player in the world," this and that and t'other. Not one of them said that he made a mistake leaving Everton to go to Old Trafford. Right? But at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say, right, here we are. You just said it yourself, Tony. Yeah, we're up on scrutiny every single time we make a signing. And I'll tell you what, I mean, people said like Isak as well. Oh, it's a poor signing, ain't worth the money, sort of thing. Let me tell you something, right? Isak is a fantastic player. Give him 2 years, this guy will be world class. He will be world class, and everyone will be talking about this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie Howe was asked things in his press conference. He was asked about Isak start, and he says, "I've certainly got a decision to make in a few positions, and that is great from my perspective, that we have competition building. We're looking and analysing training as well, so I've got a big call to make on Tuesday evening." He was then asked about Anthony Gordon, out his spat with Trippier and Shea, and Eddie Howe says, "It's interesting looking back at the footage. I like that he didn't stand down that day, Anthony Gordon. He was aggressive in standing his opposition. The supporters and teammates will grow to love that about him," says Eddie Howe.
Yeah, passion.
John Joe Shelvey, he said, while I would like to have kept John Joe Shelvey, he says, we want to see him go, but he says John Joe Shelvey did ask if he could go, as he felt he didn't know if the club would offer him a new deal, and he says we couldn't stand in his way. So that was from Eddie Howe. I mean, yeah. He was asked about, he says it's 1 year anniversary of Bruno's signing, and Eddie Howe said about his goal against Southampton, he said, "It's one of those moments where I didn't realise how the ball had gone in, but you look back at it and go, well, I haven't seen goals scored like that many times since then. He's done that many times where he's done something that just stands out." And that's Eddie Howe and Bruno, because it's here today Bruno signed. Asked about the weekend off, he says, "I'm not so sure." He says, "The rhythm you get from playing a game is sometimes better than resting." He says, "But we've trained well. The players are in a good place. The boys have been together this week. Preparation's good. Currently, we're very, very pleased at how we have got on this week." So, and asked about to Hull City, barring any late surprises, he says, "Carl will be involved with us tomorrow, and then we'll see where we are after the game." So he's not confirming that he's gone to Hull City. But, so yeah. And he goes on to say again about Shelvey, he says, "I'm sure John Joe's thought long and hard about what he wants and what he sees. I can't speak highly enough of him. My interactions with him, he was huge last season. He's been the focal point of the team. Unfortunately this season, we haven't seen him, but I will be sad to see him go." So that's great words.
Absolutely.
Asked if Gordon's arrival has split opinions, he says, "Look, I believe he'll fit in our style of player. He's an incredible athlete, has the ability to run box to box at very high speed. I think he has the athletic durability that we want in our wide players. He has the passion that the fans will feed off, but Anthony will have to earn that support," says Eddie Howe. He says, "But Brilliant. He gives us a lot. He's a young player, huge potential, and have a big impact on our season. Very quick, dynamic player. He's versatile. He can play on both sides. The best is yet to come from him, and he can add something different to us, for us as well," says Eddie Howe. So, I mean, Eddie Howe's quite happy with him. And asked about a replacement for Shelvey, he says, We'll see what we can do in the market to see if we can bring someone in terms of permanent signings. That may be difficult, but we look for a loan situation, but it has to be the correct player.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Just one thing on it. So I was just going to say quickly about Simon Jordan, right? I don't know, you might have read it, Tony. I don't know, but he's talking about Anthony Gordon, right? And I have an opinion on it as well. He was asked about Anthony Gordon on his move to Everton, and he said that Simon Jordan's not happy how Anthony Gordon treated Everton to push through the move to Newcastle. He added, "I don't like the way he behaved towards Everton Football Club. It's like rats deserting the sinking ship. I hope Anthony Gordon gets what he deserves, reaps what he sows." Simon Jordan is calling him a rat, yeah? But one thing I'm going to say on that as well quickly, right? There's no mention about fans tapping his car, trying to get into his car. There's none of that, Tony. There's none of that.
No, this is the thing this is the thing that's annoying me, John, right? When we wanted Steve Bruce out the club, we were the worst fans in the country. We were hounding out a nice family man, right? When we were protesting against Mike Ashley, you know, people thought we were disgusting the way we were protesting. But hang on, did we actually go and stand outside his house? No. Did we? Yes, there might have been a couple of fans went down with the flag or whatever, but that's different. They weren't causing any trouble. They were just quietly standing there with a flag. But was he actually scared to come to the ground, Mike Ashley? No, because he had no fear of his security. Was Lee Charnley frightened to come to the club? No. So when you get the likes of Everton, where they tell their directors and owners they can't come to the club because they can't protect us, they fear for their safety. Why aren't the media slating Everton about this? The fans, when the fans are standing in the street blocking the roads off, and you get the likes of Yerry Mina getting out of his vehicle without thinking that what are the fans carrying, because you don't know what people are carrying these days, and that's a fact of life. You do not know what people are carrying. But again, nothing said about it.
Exactly.
West Brom hounded out, got rid of Steve Bruce. Anything said about West Brom fans? Nothing. When he was at Aston Villa, and the Villa fans are throwing cabbages at Steve Bruce, was anything said about Villa fans throwing cabbages at Steve Bruce and hounding them out the club? No. So the thing is, my point is, it's because it's Newcastle United, John. They don't like us. We are the most hated team in the league, and in England, we are the most hated team in England. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there. We are the most hated team in England. But I don't care how much these people hate us, John, because at the end of the day, we're going to start turning around this Premier League, and we've already upset the apple cart because part of the Big Six is nowhere even in a European place. Two of them are mid-table. One's Liverpool, one's Chelsea. They're 10 points behind us as well. So, you know, and so out of the four teams that were in the top four last season, you know, three of them have fell out of there. Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool. Arsenal weren't in the top four last year. We were nowhere near the top four last year. So we've gone in there. So us and Arsenal have dumped Liverpool and Chelsea out of there. Man U's dumped Tottenham out of there. And it just shows you the difference now. But the problem is, John, they just don't like us. And that's the problem. And but you know what? I don't care if they don't like us, John. I couldn't care because I love my club.
Who cares?
I've supported my club since 1982. I love the club. And at the end of the day, I'm passionate. This is why I do this channel, why I bring these shows to people, because I like to share my passion of Newcastle United. You do it yourself, John. You have your channel because you've got your passion of Newcastle United. Paul, Billy, Alex, Danielle on the Toon Review, they do it like this, give up their own time because they like to share their passion of Newcastle United. Same as Pete. He likes to share his passion in Newcastle United. And that's what it's all about. And as long as we're there to put it on for the fans, at the end of the day, I don't care who doesn't like us, John, because we are Newcastle United, and United is one.
Yeah, and you know what it is, Tony? After the media and the press cry some more, because at the end of the day, who cares about them? Who cares? If they don't like us, We don't care about them. Why should we care about why? They don't care about us. Why should we care about them? Because I tell you something, right? We're here, and we're not going away. We're here to compete. We're not here to be popular. Simple as that.
Yep, we're here. That's it. We're not here to be late. We had to compete, John. Simple. Some breaking news coming. Leeds United have signed the USA midfielder Weston McKennie on loan from UVA till the end of the season. So there we go.
Good signing.
So that's
good
another one in
there.
it Leeds. Yeah. Andrew says Sherwood's Forrest Gump. Troll says it's a hefty fee, but in my opinion seems a good lad. Yeah. I like coffee. Chelsea are doing. Chat everyone thought Newcastle would be doing. Yeah. Tim Sherwood didn't last long at Spurs, says Andrew. Yeah, by the way, well, the Spurs in the table at the minute, total gobshite. Absolutely, Andrew. 100%, mate. Tim Sherwood's an idiot, says Ian. Bias says Gordon is replacement for Fraser. Which one would you prefer? Absolutely, it's quality in depth. Yeah, definitely. Andrew says maybe Tim Sherwood's trying to be Michael Owen's pal. Yeah, quite possibly. Troll says Endo Fernandez. I like coffee. 1 year anniversary of Bruno. Yeah. Alan says I'd like to see the reserve striker Stevenson get a chance in the team next season. He looks good. Yeah, he scored on his debut for Hampton Academicals and got the winner for them in the 1-0 win. So well done, Dylan.
Tony,
although I don't think the Scottish Championship.
Call him back.
I don't think there is, John. But to be honest, I know he's got the Scottish Championship, but to be honest, I don't think that's his challenge really for him. He would have been better off in the Championship in this country, to be fair. But, you know, we wish him all the best there. Troll says, hope we save the hammering. That's coming from Man United when we get the final. I would love that. Gary says, Tim Sherwood's going to look like a right duck egg if we get James Maddison across the line tomorrow. Do you know what? I would absolutely love that if it happens. But you know what? We don't. Anything can happen. Troll says, Gordon's an upgrade on Fraser and Murphy. Absolutely. Davey says, Dylan Stevenson, 1 game, 1 goal for Hampton Academicals. Yeah. At least Eddie doesn't have a big decision on who the back five are, says Andrew. No, he doesn't, does he? Not at all. Coffee says, it looks like Everton will be using the Gordon money to buy Gallagher for 40 to plus 5 million add-ons. I'll come in on that now. Gallagher has turned down Everton. He does not want to go to Everton. He wants to go to a side in the top of the near the top of the table. But the thing is, like I've seen a couple of Newcastle fans saying, I don't know if you think yourself, John. Yes, he's not a bad player, Conor Gallagher, but they're saying, would he be good enough for the Champions League? And they're saying we don't think he would be. What's your opinions, John? Do you think he's good enough for the Champions League or not? Or is he a mid-table? Yeah.
The thing is, right, with Gallagher, I'm going to upset a lot of people now, right? But all he does, he just runs around. That's all he does, runs around for the full 90 minutes. Yeah, don't get us wrong. I mean, is he like a grafter? For me, I just think he's a grafter. For me, like, you know, runs around. Like, we've got that in the midfield. We've got, like, Joe Willock, he can graft as well. Bruno can graft 110%, yeah? But Sean Longstaff as well. For me, I think Gallagher is just another Sean Longstaff, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? I'm not being funny, but at the end of the day, right, I mean, for me, I'll spend 40 million on someone else rather than Conor Gallagher, Tony, if I'm honest with you, do you know what I mean? So, but if Eddie wants to buy him, I guess I've got to back him, but I'm only judging you guys and the chat what I've seen of Conor. But at the end of the day, right, for me, I wouldn't spend that sort of money on him because we would have got, he's just been another Sean Longstaff. It just won't improve.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
Sorry to hear that.
No, that's fine, John. No, you entitled your opinions, John. At the end of the day, the way I look at it, John, as well, is with Conor Gallagher, yes, we've seen him play for like West Brom. We've seen him play for Palace. He looks great in them teams, John. But we've seen him for Chelsea, and he's not been that great for Chelsea, I'm afraid. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't take him, John. If I'm in all honesty, John, I would not take him. And that's not to say, you know, I mean, the lad's probably going to be turning into a great player, but whether he will or not, I don't know. Is he more of a mid-table team or lower end of the Premier League team? I mean, he's played for England, but he hasn't even set the world of light when he's played for England. So, I mean, guys in the chat, get your thoughts. And I mean, what's your thoughts on Conor Gallagher? I'm just not convinced, John, by him.
I'm not
in all
convinced
honesty.
either, Tony, to be fair. Not for me, because at the end of the day, right, I mean, he's a likable lad. I think he's a hard-working player, but for me, I'll go abroad and get someone for 40 million quid, find another Bruno-type player sort of thing. It's just a shame that Victor Rock plays for Atletico Paradies. He's not as midfielder. He's a striker sort of thing, you know what I mean? But with that sort of money, with 40 million, I'd rather go for Matthias Fansa. I'd rather go for him and try and get him for 25 million quid, if you know what I mean. But it's this stupid sell-on fee as well. If he's sold for 50% the sell-on fee, no, sod that, Tony. Sod that.
Yeah. I'm just going to share something. Anthony Gordon's just put something on Twitter. So here we go, guys. Has that come up now?
Yeah.
So Anthony Gordon says, time for a new chapter. I've admired the history of this club for a long time. I'm so proud for this to be my new home. I want to say thank you to everyone at NUFC I've met for the warm welcome. I can't wait to get going in the black and white. See you tomorrow as we cheer the lads on. From Anthony Gordon. And
big up.
There's some of his pictures there.
Absolutely amazing.
So there we are, guys. Anthony Gordon, really happy to be a Newcastle player, and that's nice words from him. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. But I just thought I would share that, John. Yeah.
Do you know what it is, right, Anthony Gordon, right? He says all the right things, man. He says all the right things, right? And we as fans, we've got class. We've got a bit of class about ourselves, mate, right? I mean, we don't go around banging on cars. We don't go around going to people's houses. We don't abuse players at all whatsoever, sort of thing, right? But, you know, okay, if you don't deliver that sort of thing, yeah, have an opinion, of course, but don't go have a go at players, to not only like Everton fans has done. Yeah, the one they did about Yeremina, okay, fair enough, because he's asking the questions. But having a go at the players? Come on, hold here, man. I mean, Anthony Gordon, we'll look after you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree with you on that one. Andrew says, I honestly don't care about what pundits and managers and non-toon bloggers say about us. As long as the players we approach and want to play for us, then I'm happy. All totally jealous of the toon. Absolutely, Andrew.
Absolutely, Andrew. Thank you.
It shows you when you saw Bruno's interview how happy he is at Newcastle, and he loves the place. And I don't think it'll be long before he signed a long-term deal. Well, a new improved one anyway. Andrew says to Coffee, let them have Gallagher. If he can't get in the Chelsea side, what chance does he have in ours? A pending Champions League side? He. Absolutely. Alan says, I agree, Andrew. They're all scared stiff of the tune. They are. Gary, a nice family, man. That didn't have a clue, lads. Absolutely. No, I'm only going off what they said, Gary. I'm just being tongue-in-cheek. We know that. Andrew says, I saw that Steve Bruce was talking about the abuse he got along with his families. All slanted towards NUFC. It was Villa who were the ones who were throwing cabbages. Yeah, it was nicknamed. That's where you got the cabbage sheet from. Andrew says, you said it, Tony, as I was typing it. Alan says, Steve Bruce, the Cabbage Patch doll. Do you remember them, John, the Cabbage Patch dolls?
Yeah. Back in the 90s, mate, I think it was. And yeah, remember that very well, mate. It's fun.
Andrew said, they just don't like the fact that the Geordie Nation's going to dominate them all, stuff them. Absolutely, Andrew. Absolutely, mate. And then they'll be licking our backsides. Davey says, the more media go against us, the harder we fight back. Absolutely. Andrew says, the Romans didn't like us because we beat them, hence the wall. The Vikings didn't like us because we beat them, hence the castles. And the shanty drink us because we drink real beer. Absolutely, Andrew. Well said. Well said.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well said. I've started that, mate. And we're real men, even the women, lol. Absolutely. Rowley says, Gallagher improves the squad, not the starting 11, but I take him for depth. Rowley wants them. Must be the only one then, Rowley, because I don't want him.
Nah.
Sorry, Rowley. Ali Coffee Gordon to share. You'll protect me now, share. You have to earn it first. Yeah, absolutely. Kong says, it doesn't matter who we get. The fact is we're getting people in who is the main thing. Eddie can improve anyone. If he wants them, that's fine by me. Yeah, absolutely, Kong. Well said, mate. Well said.
Well said.
Wayne says, Conor Gallagher, not for me, like. No. Mr. Marks, thank you for subscribing, mate. He says, who is Gallagher better in now in midfield? Exactly. He's no better. Well, he's nowhere near the class of some of them we've got, is he? So he wouldn't get in the team. Simple as. Wayne says, I would freaking love that França from Flamengo. What time? Right, we'll talk about. Now you've mentioned that, Wayne, we'll just quickly talk about Matheus França, because that's how you pronounce his name. So França, it's a bit of a mystery, this one. Apparently, we offered €20 million package deal to take him off the hands of Flamengo, because that's what we think he's worth, according to the club. But according to Fabrizio Romano, Flamengo want the clause, which is €25 million. Now, I can see why the club are going to stick in and say, well, we're only going to give you 20 million. I mean, personally, John, do you think the club should just dump up the extra €5 million and say, do you know what, there you go, have your 25 million. Now give us França. I mean, do you think this one could still happen before tomorrow's deadline, John, or do you think it's now dead in the water till the summer?
Well, it's got to be done really soon because, I mean, it's not going to get Flamengo time for a replacement for the lad. Do you know what I mean? But they do produce some young talents through the ranks as well, through the squad as well, what do you want to call it, academy. They got a very good academy in Rio, by the way. That's where they're based at. But look, at the end of the day, I like him. I think we should pay the money, get him over here, set that meet. And I'd rather pay 25 mil for França rather than 40 mil for Gallagher. Let's be real, because this guy is going to be one hell of a player in the years to come. I mean, he's quick. He plays number 10. He can play wide. He can play with striker. He can play midfield. This guy, I tell you something now, Tony, he will excite the fans. He will excite the fans. And, 18 years young, if you want to buy him, and then do not send him out on loan. This guy has got to be in the 11.
Yeah, I totally agree. Rowley says, Conor Gallagher's 22, not even at his peak yet, and will improve loads under Eddie Howe. Maybe, Rowley, maybe, but who knows? We'll see first if he comes to us. He might not want to leave London. That's the problem, because I think he lives with his mum, doesn't he? So he might not want to leave London. That's the problem. So he might want to go to the Palace instead. Coffee Trippier posted on his Instagram the video of him fighting with Gordon and said, welcome, Gordon, and the rest of the team put up laughing emojis. I like it. Alan says, Gallagher, no. Maddison, yes, absolutely. I totally agree, Alan. Knight says, I hope we go back in for the Brazilian striker again. I'd love him, yeah, absolutely. Alan says, I'd love Chelsea to get relegated. Yeah, that'd be funny. Kong says, the only thing living in both areas, the Geordies are literally the Welsh who got lost and settled in a place that reminded them of Wales. You're all exactly the same as the Welsh, friendly and amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember going down, it was 11 years ago when I went down to Swansea on a Good Friday, and remember getting to the Liberty Stadium, and there's a pub just outside the Liberty Stadium, and can't remember the name of it now. And I remember going up there, and there was obviously the doorman, the bouncers on the door, and I said, are away fans allowed in here? And he went, yeah, of course you are. He says, everybody's welcome. And he says, oh, why'd you ask? And I said, I went to Bolton on Boxing Day. I says, at the Reebok. I said, and there's a Harvester pub right next door to the ground. So I thought, well, with it being a Harvester, 1, I'll get a drink, and 2, I'll get something to eat because they do the nice salad and all that. So I thought, I'll get something to eat. And then when I got there, they said, "Oh, you're not allowed in it, so only for home fans. The away fans have to go the other side." So you have to walk about 20 minutes away to go to the nearest watering hole in Bolton. But which I thought was stupid. Why the segregating fans for? That causes more trouble, in my opinion.
Very.
But I went to
Tony,
this
can I
pub
tell
in
you a story
Swansea.
quickly? I mean, you mentioned about Reebok Stadium.
Yeah.
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 Just a quick one. You mentioned Reebok Stadium, right? University of Bolton Stadium, where they want to call it, right? I mean, I've been there, I think it's 2002, and I went in the pub there, right? And I said, "Hi, mate," walked in. He said, "Hold on, do you support Newcastle?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Problem." He goes, "No, you can't come." I said, "Why not?" Because it's the home end. And then one of the lads, he recognises, right, for a long time ago, right? Excuse me, it's a problem there. Like, goes, he's in Newcastle for Dunamala. So he let us stay in. He let us stay in the pub. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I got not one drinks. I got 3 drinks bought. And I asked him, "What do you want, lad?" I said, "Because I don't drink alcohol. I just have 3 glasses of Diet Cokes and that sort of thing, right?" So I had 3 Diet Cokes, and they let us stay in. You know what I mean? I just said to him, "Well, you just mentioned there you got to walk another 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to another pub. So what's the point in that?" Do you know what I mean? So I said to the doorman, stop being picky, right? You know, the end of the day, I came a long way, right? I still have a drink or two. I ain't going to cause any bother. Do you know what I mean? That's it. I'm a football lad. So he just says, "Hey, out." Simple.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
The guy that does a muppet. He is an absolute muppet. You know, Jordan, that guy, he should take a day off.
I mean, when I went to one in Swansea, like I say, I went to the pub outside the Liberty Stadium, and they were lovely in there. The people were lovely in there. The fans, the Swansea fans, were great. I mean, I can't praise them highly enough. How friendly they were, warming. I mean, Newcastle fans were throwing inflatable sheep around, shouting "sheep shaggers." But you know what it is? The Swansea fans loved it. They joined in as well and started throwing it back and shouting it back as well. And it was a great atmosphere. Nobody was rowdy. Nobody was fighting or anything. Everybody was Swansea
Absolutely,
fans
Troy.
sticking their arms around you. They were absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I mean, but they were absolutely fantastic, and I can't praise them highly enough. Um, and that's what I'm saying. That there's just some friendly people out there, and that's exactly what Knight's saying. The Welsh are friendly, and they are, and that was what I was wanting to say about that one. Andrew says there's no way we're going to accept a 50% clause for salons. I know there's drugs in South America, but I didn't realise that they were that good. Wayne says, got to be Madison over Gallagher all day, absolutely. Andrew says, the only way I can think of sell-on clauses would be if we had an exclusive agreement of first choice against any of their players before Madrid or Barca. Yeah, absolutely. Rock the tune. I live about 12 miles from the Liberty Stadium, worked as hospitality steward there. Yeah, absolutely lovely there on the Rock the Tune. But like I say, I can't remember what that bar is called outside the stadium, but that bar, they were absolutely fantastic in there, and I can't praise them highly enough. I mean, going into tomorrow's game, John, I'm going to put up what I think. Gosh, I've got something loud going over there, an aeroplane.
Yeah, I wonder what that was.
Yeah, because I literally live near an American airbase, so I get a lot of this. But that was loud. That's vibrated the house. But yeah. So my team tomorrow, John, and then you can tell me if you agree with my team or if you've got a different team to what I've got. So I'm going Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, Bruno, Joe Linton, and then to finish off the midfield three will be Sean Longstaff. And then up front, we will be going Miggy Almiron, and then those two, Isak and ESM. That will be my start 11 tomorrow, John. And making way, obviously, for them two would be Joe Willock and Callum Wilson. So, John, that team that I've said there, that 11, so that's Pope, Trippier, Shea, Botman, Dan Burn, Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, ESM, Mickey Almiron, Bruno, Isak. So, I mean, John, what do you think?
Yeah, totally. I'll go with you, mate. Exactly what you said, mate. I mean, that's the side I'll pick tomorrow. Drop Joe Linton back in midfield. That's where I know he's knows best. We need a bit of beef in the midfield. Southampton don't like that at all whatsoever. Play ASM. He's got to come in just to make sure that they give those fullbacks a hard time on a neat like. And Miggy needs to start scoring goals and needs to change up a bit as well. And Isak, that guy has to start. He must start games now because when he came on that pitch, he made a huge difference. My man on the match that day, by the way, just for that as well, made a difference. And the back four or the back five speaks for itself. And Bruno, yes, 100%. Sean Longstaff, yes, 100%. Joe Linton and ASM must start because at the end of the day, right, that's the side I pick. If you get a goal, if you get an early goal, then the game's done, Tony. The game is done. Because I cannot see Southampton scoring 3. They might even not score 2. But our defence will have to be on par. We should. I'm comfortable with the defence. And I think it's going to be a massive, massive night. This could be the massive night in the history of Newcastle United. I'll be there tomorrow live. And if anyone's there, don't want to meet us, see us there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's your prediction tomorrow, John?
I'm going to go 2-0 to Newcastle, and it's going to be 3-0 on aggregate. And yeah, so 2-0 on the neat. Goal at each half. If we get a first goal, we can start partying. We can absolutely start partying. Book your hotels, book your flights, book the restaurants, pubs, Covent Garden, Trafalgar Square. Just go for that.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Coffee says, after Enzo, Chelsea are meeting a late push for Casido.
Wouldn't surprise.
He said, Arsenal looking to rope in Jorginho. Yeah, I could see that happening. Andrew says, keep that vibrating going, Tony. It was bloody lovely, lol. You're right. Wilson needs a rest. Maybe bring him back early June, lol.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wayne says, that's a team I would pick as well, Tony. It's got to be Shirley. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's about time Isak starts. Alan says, to me, it looks like Chelsea are ready to start up the Super League with all that spending. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. But, I just, if they do this time, I think the Premier League want to say, you want the Super League, go and play it in it, but you've lost your membership in the Premier League. That's what they need to do. Tomorrow, my prediction's 3-0 to Newcastle. I'm going to see goals from Isak, Bruno, and I'm going to see Botman's going to get one. He's going to score his first because he's been close. So I'm hoping tomorrow will be the one that he'll score his goal. Gary says, I hope Southampton don't score any, lads. I can't see them scoring, to be fair. And Alan says, Newcastle will win 3-0, yeah. And I mean, Anthony Gordon's going to love it in that crowd tomorrow, isn't he? So
he's going to love it. He's going to love the atmosphere as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the search results. So smash those likes. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also, bell notification tells you when I'm live, have any pre-records or any upcoming shows. But yeah, I stuck one out there this morning, which was a transfer roundup show from looking back. And obviously, I think it was Davey who looked at Sander Berge because of me putting that show out this morning. Because I did do a late one last night when that news broke from Craig Hope that we were exploring the possibility of taking Sander Berge on loan. So I did do a show last night, John, and got some more comments in here as well. Alan says 3-0, yeah. I predict 2-1, says Coffee. You think Southampton are going to score? Wayne says, I'm going to push the board up here. 3-0 to the Toon. Isak hat-trick. How are you, the lads? That would be fantastic. Rock the Toon. J7 and Isak. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew says, Chelsea FFP. Obviously, they're getting players via Crazy Georges. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Jesus, do you remember that company, Crazy Georges? I think
Yeah.
they used to be weekly or something, didn't they? Do you think Southampton manager will start his second half team from the first legs as Coffee? I don't know, because apparently Selector Carr's back again tomorrow.
Yeah, because
Because
he
he was,
got banned for the cup game.
yeah, but I thought you should be banned for that competition game, not for the cup game like the FA Cup. I think that's wrong. But again,
I
we don't
agree.
care if Selector Carr's playing because he's a poor defender anyway. And we
He
can just
is.
wave him off the pitch again. So
Yeah.
Armstrong created a lot of problems for Burn, and they could target that side against us, Coffee. Yeah, but I think Armstrong will get a lot of stick this time round, won't he? And Andrew says 3-0 Toon as well. But yeah, I mean, Armstrong didn't cover himself in glory last week, did he, John?
Not at all. Not at all.
What he's
Tony,
got to
because-
remember is not only where he's come from, John, but what he's got to remember is it was the old regime that got rid of him, not the new regime. And that's the difference.
Exactly. Totally agree. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he started scoring lots of goals in the Championship, but in the Premier League, I think he got kind of found out. I mean, he has scored some goals against big teams, like, you know what I mean? But for me, I think we'll look after him tomorrow. I think Botman and Cher will have him in his pocket tomorrow, let's be real. And someone said as well in the chat as well, which I believe it was Ala Coffee, that they're going to target Dan Burn tomorrow. I hope that's not the case. Our back four will be absolutely defensively sound. They have to be. And if we can look after the back four, remember, Tony, we don't have to win tomorrow night as long as you don't get beat.
Absolutely, John. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. We just don't want to lose tomorrow. We shouldn't do, John, to be fair. But yes, it will be great if this guy is definitely back in the side tomorrow, because by God, he looked great when he come on last week.
Exactly.
Him and Maxi changed the dynamics of that game last week, and yeah. So let's hope he's back and firing again.
Yes.
Got some. Derek says, "Twank the Saints, Toon atmosphere will turn Ward Prowse's head. Then we'll have Ward Prowse in the middle of our team." Yeah, I mean, Ward Prowse is a good player, but would we buy him? That's the problem. He's 28 though. That's the thing, John. I mean, you know, the way we are with our age, you know, the way we want younger players, I can't see we're paying for Ward Prowse, to be fair. Can you, John?
Look, Ward Prowse is a cracking player. He really is. Against us, I mean, he did try in the semi-final, but we looked after him, by the way. But at the end of the day, his free kick set pieces is well documented, absolutely fantastic. But the guy's 28 now. I think, me personally, if he's going to leave Southampton, if they get relegated, I think it'd be for a mid-table side. I do not think it'd be a top 4 team, if I'm honest with you. But at the end of the day, he's a fantastic player. I think he'd be perfect for probably like a Leeds United, probably like Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. I think you do all right there.
Yeah, you would do. Yeah, John, absolutely.
And guess where he was born?
Yeah.
Ward Prowse was actually born in Portsmouth.
There you go. Yeah, but he won't be at Portsmouth, John. That's for sure.
Nah, no chance.
But yeah, nice to see you on the channel as well, Derek. Thank you very much. And if you're new, please hit the like and subscribe. That would be great. Thank you. I like Coffee says, who are the referees? Yes, you want to know who the referees are, don't you, Coffee? So I will bring that up for you and tell you who the referees are for tomorrow. But the referee in the middle tomorrow is Paul Tierney. So he's refereed games for us as well before. And I'll give you season stats as well. So, right. The last time he took charge, he's took charge of Carabao Cup final between Man City and Tottenham in 2021. But he refereed 4 games involving us last season. 2-2 draw with Southampton. at home under Cabbage Head. 3-0 defeat against Chelsea under Graham Jones. The 1-0 win over Burnley under Eddie Howe, and the 1-1 draw with Watford at St James's Park. The season stats for this season: 18 games, 65 yellow cards, and 2 red cards issued. He's also assisted by Konstantin Hatzidakis and Neil Davies. The 4th official is Andrew Madley. The VAR is Darren England. And assistant VAR is Wade Smith. At this moment, VAR seems to be switched on for Newcastle United. So that is the lineup tomorrow for the officials. Will there be VAR? I've just answered the question. There is VAR, definitely. Andrew says, as long as it's not Mike Riley. It's not Mike Riley. He's kicked into touch now. It's now Howard Webb in charge. And Coffee says, think Southampton team bus will be missing a player on the way home. JWP will stay behind and sign for us, says Coffee. Yeah, well, Southampton will probably want about 70 or 80 million quid for him. And for a 28-year-old, that's a lot of money. Surprised Chelsea haven't bought him, to be fair. But yeah. But no, like I say, I don't think he fits our model for like the age of the squad. We're trying to bring the age of the squad down, not increase it. And that's the thing, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame, really. If he was like 24, 25, then he'd be perfect for Newcastle United in the midfield 3. So at the end of the day, right, let's be real. I mean, I just think you're going to get someone a bit younger, someone like a Cornet and Alvarez, and that Thuram from Lille as well. So, yeah, I think you go for it before you go for James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, Thuram from Nice, you mean, Kev from Thuram. Oh, John's gone a bit. And Andrew says, that would be hilarious. Yeah, it would absolutely, Andrew. That would be hilarious. There he is, he's back. Right. Are you having a post-match show tomorrow, Tony? Yes, there'll be the build-up live. So that will be tomorrow. And that will be at 6:30. It's already earmarked on YouTube anyway, so check that out, guys. It's already in the list there because I put them all up yesterday. So there will be a build-up show, and that's at 6:30. And we'll have the team lineups when they are released at 7 p.m. Ready for the 8 p.m. kickoff, which is live on Sky Sports. If unfortunately you can't make the game and you didn't get a ticket for it, but you can always watch it at home, in the pub, restaurant, wherever you're going or wherever you're going to watch it. So yeah, there you go, guys. So yeah, there is definitely a post-match show. You mean a post-match show? Sorry, after the game. Sorry, I meant. Yes, there will be probably. I would imagine. So I'll be doing because I will be doing a show after the game because I'll do a reaction / deadline day live as well. So yeah, because I did get asked if I was going to do a deadline day show, and I said, well, unfortunately, because the game's on, I'll be watching the game. But after this game, I'll do a reaction / deadline day. So as we're doing the reaction, any transfers come through, they'll be announced as well at the same time. So there you go, guys. So I'm doing both. I like Coffee or Tony and John at the game. John's at the game. Unfortunately, I'm not at the game. But I'll be there in spirit and watching it on TV and jumping up and down like a madman when we score. All right, Coffee says, don't forget to take your scarves. Yeah, absolutely. They want your scarves tomorrow. You got your scarf, John? I hope you have.
I think I left it at home, but I'm going to check if the partner's got one as well. So we have to have a look, sort of figured out to have to pinch someone else's. So, yeah, sorry.
Just buy one from the club shop, John.
Yeah. Or I might pinch on someone else's.
Cheapskate. Alan says, It's a wonder Klopp has not said anything about Chelsea signings. Exactly, Alan. Exactly. If it had been us, Klopp would have been all over it. Yeah, exactly. Well said, mate. Right, guys, we'll come to the end of the show now. But, John, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Coffee says, do you have the half and half scarf?
Half and half? No, I don't. Nah.
Man, you and Newcastle.
Don't be. I'll tell you what, if he beat in the final, which looks like I'm going to beat in the final, I'm going to get a lot of stick. I'm going to get a lot of stick. And Macy's going to love that.
Yes.
She will love it. She loves it. I bet she loves to be a red. I ain't going to have any time soon. She knows that. She knows that. As long as you don't call Macy a mag, she might call you like Tony the Red or whatever sort of thing. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. So,
No. Yeah.
Black and white all the way. Black and white.
Absolutely. Absolutely, John.
There you go. Right then, my socials, TikTok, John Sinclair TV. And if you go on to Facebook and on YouTube, John Sinclair TV. John Sinclair 50 on my Instagram. And if you go on to on my Twitter, it's John_NUFC 42. And I will follow you back if you follow us. And also, if I'm someone aware for getting 4,300 subscribers. So help us out and let's do this to Man Eat, people. Because you know what? We got to do this. Got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Andrew says, thanks, Tony. Thanks, John. Great show. Take care, all. How are you, the lads? How are you, the lads? Thank you very much, Andrew. I like coffee. Bye, Tony, John, and all. Thanks, I like coffee. Bye-bye to you as well. Yeah, guys, you can find me on Twitter. Down there, TonyTony31. Follow me and I'll follow you back. That's not a problem. You can also find me on my channel, which you're on anyway. So you know where my channel is. You're on it now. If you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel grow and go up the search settings. So as you're leaving, just smash that like on your way out. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Also, if you're brand new to the channel like Mr. Mark tonight, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. And also bell notification tells you when I'm live, having upcoming shows or any pre-records. I'm currently at 338 subscribers, so I'm 12 away from 350 and 62 away from that magical 400. So there we go, guys. So thanks, John, for coming on tonight. It's been a fantastic show, guys. We've talked about everything. I mean, considering we're doing a preview show, we've talked mostly a lot of transfers, but again, we're in silly season. The transfer window shuts at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
How many more additions will come into Newcastle after Harrison Ashby? Who knows? I still think we could have another 2 coming in tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me. Don't worry about deals, guys, because deals can be done within no time. So, and we've seen it happen before. So the likes of James Maddison, that could even happen before 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So, you know, anything's possible. Same with France, although he's in Brazil. Nothing to see we can't get a medical done in Brazil where he is and then get him on the next flight over, because you can always email a contract over to him and he can sign it from that side. So a lot of things can be done quite technically easily as well. So, yeah, guys, let's look forward to a great transfer deadline day tomorrow and see where we go after that. But let's see who comes into the club. But most of all, make sure we get to that Carabao Cup final tomorrow when we beat Southampton. Just the last few comments there. So West Ham fan eating something what I saw on PD's show. Oh, okay. What's that? Oh, yeah, on his food pics, yeah. I later, lads and all, says Wayne. See you later, mate. At the Derby game, says coffee, yeah. And Ian says, great show, guys. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. But yeah, guys, enjoy transfer deadline day. I'm sure we're still going to be busy. Fabrizio Romano got it right. He says Newcastle will be the busiest club in the window at the end, in the last week. And he isn't far wrong. And that guy doesn't get a lot wrong, to be fair. So anything that you see from Fabrizio Romano, do take his stuff seriously, because, like I say, he don't get a lot wrong. And most of the time, he's quite right. So there we go, guys. But take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And see you tomorrow evening at 6:30. Unless any transfers break, either tonight or first thing in the morning, then I will bring it to you as soon as I can possibly do that. But got one last comment, yeah. Alan says, lads, are you going on are you going to get ex-Newcastle players on your show? We would love to. It'll be something to work on, and I'm sure we will do, hopefully, at some point. I like coffee seat. Says Alan Shearer would definitely be on as well. I would love to have Alan Shearer on, but I don't think he would. No. Great show, lad, says Gary. Thanks very much indeed, Gary. But yeah, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
How are that too? Let's do this tomorrow night.
Yes, how are the lads? Come on.
Got to do it tomorrow.